Hello, 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 hello. I hope this is working. So test. Yeah. If you are there and can see me, say something. Yeah. Oh, if okay. You are there. Okay, cool. Hey guys, it's Victor. My wife and kids just went to bed, so a long time no see. As you can see, I'm wearing the 2.5 Oyaji t-shirt because we are doing a 2.5 Oyaji show on Sunday. I'm not sure the time yet. It'll be after 9. At the earliest, it'll be 9 p.m. I actually haven't talked to Hiko. I haven't been keeping in touch with Hiko, so I don't really know what's going on with him, which is good because we're going to catch up together on Sunday. Yeah. I think this shirt is actually a medium because it's really tight, as you can see. Because I've actually lost a lot of weight. But it's still a little bit tight on me. Anyway, good evening, guys. And in honor of tonight, I have decided to go off my... I've been very good about not drinking recently. So I'm going to kind of go off, fall off the wagon, so to speak. I haven't been pure, but please enjoy this with me. Ready? This is one of my favorite ones. This is Double Shi Croissant. Yes, I don't drink that much anymore because I've been trying to be very healthy. Watching what I eat. More than that, and more than I've been exercising a lot, but more than that, I've been watching what I eat. So cheers, guys. I'll catch you up. Oh, I forgot to do my hair. Oh no. Oh well, not much to say that. I hope this isn't disconnected. Yeah, hello guys. This computer is not tilting very much. I guess that's okay. My head's cut off. I don't know why. That's strange. My head's cut off on this, but not on the other thing. Let me see something. Hold on. Just a minute. Let me see. Oh, okay, there we go. There. I controlled a little bit. The wire's a little bit tight in there. So, as you guys know, Hiko Simon went to America, I think about 6 months ago now. And he's been busy there. We have not talked much. We've kept in touch a little bit on Twitter. But besides that, I've been following him on Instagram and seeing that he's having a lot of fun. It looks like he's going through a midlife crisis. He's driving cars, fast cars, and jogging every day. He's jogging like a lot, like 10 to 16, 20. I think the most I saw was 16 kilometers, but that's a lot. So the guy's in great shape. I've been going to the gym a lot and putting on muscle and trying to drop weight. But hey, Aaron, it's an Aaron. Oh, Aaron, good to see you. Yeah. So basically, today's a test to make sure that this computer works okay, because I haven't used this computer in forever, and because we're going to be doing a 2.5 live show on Sunday, and I thought I'd catch up with you guys and just tell you what I've been up to. I'll get the boring stuff out of the way. Boring stuff, I think, for you, because but I do have some meaty things later. So basically, I've been going to the gym almost every day. I'm thinking about taking tomorrow off because I'm a little bit sore. I'm running and I'm doing weights, mostly weights, but and I'm eating really well. I'm watching what I eat, lots of protein, having your macros and all that crap, and watching a lot of hey man, how you doing? Renman in Japan. Yeah, usually Renman in Japan and I will go out, but I've been being good and not going out, so because I don't want to drink. But I've had some problems that I thought would be interesting for you guys to hear. So let me tell you about that. Victor, do you think Japan is a good place to retire in VS USA? Yeah, Del Grady, I think Japan is a very affordable place to retire to. Ren Man in Japan might want to say something about that. He lives here in Nagoya too, and he's always looking at stuff. Oh, Tomo. Is that Tomo? Tomo recently admitted that she stalked her ex-boyfriend, so I have mixed feelings about that. I think if you stalk your ex-boyfriend, that's kind of that's a scary thing. Okay, but let's get to some major stuff. I will answer all your questions though. First of all, cost of living in Japan is fairly low, depending, of course, on what you want. You can get a place to live. Uh, the grading it really depends on where you want to live and how much you want to spend and all that. If you want to live in the country, you can get a really cheap place. You can buy a place in the country for fairly little and fix it up. If you want to live in the suburbs, you can probably find something for about $500 a month. But that question, is Japan affordable? It really depends on what your budget is. But yeah, I think it's compared to America, it's definitely as affordable, I would say. And you can find places that are really, really cheap. There are things, of course, that are expensive, like food. If you want to eat healthy in Japan, it costs a lot. Like a good apple costs 200, 300 yen. Tom Mullins. Um, God. Yeah. Tomo, admitting that you stalked your ex-boyfriend just makes you sound crazy. uh, $500 in the country, but if you want to eat well, you need to spend another $500. I think I could easily spend conservatively $10 a day just at home, just on material, just for decent, good food, and that's conservatively. If you really want to spend a lot of money, I would say maybe $20 a day, but let's say $600 a month on food, right? That's okay. You could go out some days too, but America's really expensive. I mean, I was back there in March because my dad had a hip surgery. Some of you know about that. And so that was just surprised at how much everything costs. And you got the tipping crap, you go, even if he would order some food and I'd go pick it up. And even when I went to pick it up, they have the iPads out there and they say, do you want a tip? I'm like, oh, you're crazy. I'm picking up my own stuff. Why would I want a tip? It's nuts. But we could go on and on with that. So let me tell you some stuff let me get you some. You have to be near a good medical facility in a major city. I mean, how near is near? In America, being near to something can be like 45 minutes away. Right? If you want to be, I mean, how near is near? Like in America, I would drive an hour to see my girlfriend, and that's nothing. Like every day. Of course, that's when I was in high school. So maybe these days I wouldn't do that. So yeah, there's a lot of factors. It's too general a question. Is Japan affordable? What's your budget? Just today, someone on Twitter posted. They were pissed off because someone said, "I don't understand why people find it difficult to live in Tokyo. It's completely affordable." But of course, lots of people have trouble, with that. A lot of people don't have that kind of money. So it really depends on what you're doing and how many mouths you have to feed. When I was with just my wife and my dog, Maggie, it was pretty easy. I had my motorcycle, my dog, my car, my wife. So, but now you got two kids, and you got to start putting money away. So we've got to put aside money every month, and kids go through clothes, and things cost money. So, and you say you want to be near if you want to be near a medical facility, what kind of medical expenses do you have? That's another thing. In Japan, though, I doubt that medical expenses would. Can we live well on 4,000 a month? Yes. If you're not saving money, yeah, I think, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You can. Hey, Ninja Monkey. Oh, Ninja Monkey is going to be coming to Japan soon, and I actually may be able to meet him. Yeah, 4,000 is more than enough. I raise two kids on 4,000, and we have lots of extra money to spare for saving. Well, not a lot, but we live well. We live well. 10 days. That's right. I completely forgot when it was. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully we'll meet up with Ninja Monkey. But let me give you some information about some stuff that's been happening in my life that might be more important for those of you who are interested in life in Japan. Okay, so I have a 8-year-old kid, and I came home yesterday. Everything was normal, and right before I went to bed, my wife tells me that little Victor has been bullied, was bullied again at school by another Japanese kid. And it has nothing to do with the fact that he's a half, just in case you're wondering that, because a lot of people think that. And apparently he's just a jerk. He's a 12-year-old kid. and he likes to, use. He likes to bully the other kids around, especially Little Vic. So, he makes them always, when they start playing tag, he's always it first. He always you're it first, right? Mm. And yesterday, he got the dodgeball and he chucked it at Little Vic at point blank range. Point blank. This is starting to kick in at point blank range. And my wife had just walked into the room and she saw it all, and she just flipped out. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill him," and she had to really control herself. And she's like, "You better apologize." He goes, "No, I'm not going to." He goes, "Don't you think you have anything to apologize for?" He goes, "No, I'm fine. I didn't do anything." So he completely denied any responsibility and he refused. And so she called the teacher. The teacher's like, you can't do things like that because he's been warned repeatedly for his behavior. So he's basically, he's a problem kid, right? He's a bully. And other parents have had problems with him as well, other kids, right? Anyway, the thing is, my son does not want me involved at all with this. He wants to take care of it himself, which is, I guess, good. But at the same time, this kid's kind of out of his league. He's 12 years old and he's only 8. So, but it was interesting that the teacher was basically going to throw him out of Japan. I mean, I'm sorry, out of the school. She's going to, and I'm sorry, it isn't school. It's at the after-school program, right? So my wife was so angry, and she was kind of scaring all the other kids because she was obviously really, really angry. So the director of the after-school program told my mom, my wife, who we call mom. She said, "Why don't you let me, take them into another room and I'll have them apologize." So she went into the two boys went alone into the other room with the teacher, and she apologized. So not a big deal. But we're going to see what happens in the future. But when something like this happens, my I don't know if you guys remember, there was a scene. Oh man, I can find it. Hold on a second. There's a scene. I think it's called Detective Beats Up Dad Bully. Yeah, this scene. What is it? Yeah, this one. Yeah. This guy, I forgot it. Colin, what's his name? This guy, you guys remember this guy's name? So in this scene, you guys see this? What's this guy's name, man? I forgot his name. But yeah, this actor. Yeah, Nagoya is much cheaper than Tokyo and Osaka. This actor, Colin Firth, not Colin Firth. You see, he's an Irish guy. I forgot his name. Colin, not is it Colin? I want to say Colin Firth, but I think that's a different guy. This is Colin Firth, see? Yeah, this is a different guy. Irish actor. Colin Farrell, that's it. Yeah, this guy, Colin Farrell. Yeah, thank you. So Colin Farrell has this scene in this movie called, I think, True Detective, where he finds out his son is being bullied, and he goes to that bully's house, knocks on the door, asks to talk to the son, and he's a police officer, so he says. So the father calls the son out, and then in front of the son, he beats the shit out of the father, and it's really it's a horrible, horrible scene. But of course, it's cathartically beautiful. It's like, oh, that's what I want to do, So I think about that. I think about I'm going to go to my son's bully's father's house, and beat the shit out of him, right? But anyway, that's my my secret dirty dream there. Okay, so that's one thing I want to talk about. The other thing, but that's even worse, is that at that school, and why is this air conditioner not kicking in? Here, just a second, please. No, let me get this going. Okay, there we go. So this is kind of creepier. At my kids' after-school program, there was a volunteer, and he was a high school kid, and he was a nice kid, and everybody knew him. And all the kids liked him. Everything was fine. And he's been there like 3 years or so. And at first, and he's a really small, like timid, but nice kid, and I didn't think anything special. I just thought, okay, that's weird that this kid's volunteering. If I was a high school kid, I wouldn't spend my time volunteering after school. But I thought maybe that's his career thing. He wants to become a teacher or something. So I didn't think much of it. However, he's really friendly with all the kids, and all the kids like him, including my kids. So every time he's lived in the neighborhood, of course. So when we happen to see him, my kids will say, "Oh, hi," and I know him by name, which of course I won't name. But we always talk to him, and uh, we haven't seen him recently, right? He hasn't been around the school. So my wife asked him. I said, "What happened to blah blah kun? We'll call him Taka-kun. Taka-kun. I got a bottle of Takayama beer here. Takayama beer, so we'll just call it Takayama-kun. Okay." And the director says, "Oh, he was fired." So he was fired from a volunteer position. And I asked, of course, we asked why. And she said, well, he had become friends with well, he's friends with all the kids, but he had become friends with one particular female junior high school student. And when she finally graduated, no, I'm sorry, sixth grader. He became friends with a sixth grader. And when she graduated and became a junior high school student, he exchanged phone numbers with her. And then he contacted her and said, let's go out. Let's hang out. And the parents found out and complained, right? Hey, KFDS, Satvi, don't be a dick, okay? Yeah, don't post a lot of crap like that, please. So he was fired for that. So of course, I'd always, in the back of my mind, I always thought, it's kind of weird that a high school kid is volunteering. Now, when I say high school kid, remember, this kid looked like he was 13 years old. He's a tiny boy. And he's really friendly with the kids, and he played with the kids. And of course, there's always other teachers around, so there's no chance of him ever being alone with anyone. So I didn't think too much of it, right? But anyway, it makes you think, it makes you think, wow, this guy could potentially be a predator, in the making. And I wondered, I asked my wife, I said, do his parents know? And she's like, well, I'm not sure I don't know for sure, but I assume that they know that he was fired and why and all that. Anyway, a lot of you guys hear about, same difference would have happened here, I guess. Yeah, the age difference must have been 3 or 4 years minimal. Oh, 4 years minimal. Yeah. Mm. The new Black Mirror is out, and it's really good. Joan is awful. There's a new the Joan is awful episode was really enjoyable. Really enjoyed this one. Yeah, if you haven't seen the new Joan is awful Black Mirror scene, really good. Anyway, so as a father in Japan, we hear a lot of people claim that Japan is full of predators and things like that, but you don't really see it much, of course, in your real life. Yeah, Netflix. But they're out there, so you got to keep your eyes open. Luckily, nothing happened. Oh, speaking of shows, there's another show on Apple TV called The Crowded Room with Tom Holland, right? Which is also about predators as well. And you don't know who the predator is, and it's got terrible reviews. Like if you go to Rotten Tomatoes, let's change this. Yeah, if you go to Rotten Tomatoes and then type in "crowded room," apparently it's not doing very well at all. Oh, where is it? Oh, let's see. The crowded room. Yeah, here. Apparently, it's not doing very well at all. Yeah, 31%. See, but the audience likes it. See, so for some reason the critics don't like it, but the audience likes it, and I'm enjoying it. But I gotta tell you, it's kind of gross things that happen in that show, and I'm impressed with Tom Holland for picking such a different role. But it isn't a happy-go-lucky movie. I'll tell you that. Mir- Black Mirror is really dark, but it's kind of funny. At least it's funny, so I like that one. The Silos I watched a couple of episodes of, but I really couldn't get into. It's apparently a really really good show. I do have Apple TV, and I do have um, Apple TV, Amazon, and Disney, and Netflix. But yeah, I haven't really gotten into it. But I've only seen two. It looks interesting though. I like episodes where they just kill off main actors. Where you're really surprised. Yes, I have a couple of videos I have 3 or 4 videos that have not been edited, TSV, that have not been edited, and um, I just got to find time to edit them. I'm spending a lot of time with my kids. My kids are great. I love coming home and teaching them English as part of their daily thing right now. So I teach them a little English. And since I'm especially busy on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I have tons of classes, so I only get a couple hours with them, so I got to squeeze that in. But I am, and I've been going to the gym like I said almost every day. So once that calms down and I get to a situation physically where I'm just maintaining my health instead of working on it. Like right now, I'm trying to get it to a certain, I'm trying to get my body into a certain state before I can go into maintenance, which means instead of going every day, I'll go 3 times a week. I'm kind of really going for it right now. You wouldn't know it, me drinking, right? But that's just for you. But another thing I thought that I really wanted to talk to you guys about was the fact that in the last few weeks, I've seen a lot of shitty. What is it? Tom said that making that show made him take 1 year break from acting. Yeah, he didn't. I think he said he didn't want to drink anymore, too. The Expanse, my father really likes The Expanse, and I have not seen Babylon yet. I'm not so interested in. I don't know why. I like Brad Pitt, but when I hear about him in a movie, I don't want to. I have no real desire to see the movie. Yeah. Anyway, let me see. Yeah. So if you've been on Twitter or if you've been on YouTube at all, or Reddit, you've probably seen that there have been a lot of shitty gaijin coming to Japan and causing problems. And there was a French guy about a month ago who punched a woman in the street because they had a fight over bento or something. In fact, I can probably find this stuff here. Let's do a little searches here. So French guy punches and something about bento box. Oh, there it is right here, right? So you can see here, right? This French guy punches a girl and then runs away, and it was a big thing on YouTube. And then there was another. No, I'm sorry, on the internet. I don't know where it became famous, but Gaijin yells at convenience store clerk. I think it's a 7-Eleven. This happened like a couple days later. After that, you can see this. Yeah, this guy here, right? This guy is not getting any views. Well, where is that guy? Yeah, but this is the story. This guy talks about it. He calls him a Karen, but let's see if you can find the. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, I've never seen this guy's videos, but you see this guy in the back here. I think he's maybe Middle Eastern or I don't know. Anyway, that guy loses it and starts yelling at a 7-Eleven clerk. These are just 2 examples, but the most famous one, recently you probably heard of, is the Johnny Somali character, Ohio Tim the Asianic, who's been going crazy and is becoming the most hated gaijin in Japan right now. And he's a streamer. Something that I've done occasionally, like maybe 3 or 4 times, but I'm not really a streamer. But is one of the most ridiculous characters I've seen so far. And I thought it would be interesting to start highlighting people like these. But, oh yeah, then I realized that there's a new J-vlogger out there. It's this guy, Brooklyn in Tokyo, who I've never heard of until just recently. This guy, Brooklyn in Tokyo. You guys probably know about him. And he seems to be making tons and tons of video, and all he does is like I think I've never seen an actual video of his. I've seen tiny clips on Twitter, but his style is kind of mysterious. Like he just stands there and watches the video, listens to it, and then at the end he comments on it. But he has this like almost a teacher like, I don't know, aura about him. Like I'm gonna lay down some wisdom on you, but yeah, and you've got a lot of these facepalm pictures you can see, right? Anyway, I've never seen his videos before. But I thought I'm gonna start making videos like this, and then I found his channel, and then I realized, oh, somebody's already doing it. not that there's more room. I mean, of course, I could probably still get into this. It's not like a big deal, but it's interesting that so many bad actors have entered Japan recently. I don't know. I thought it would. I thought that might be more interesting in the beginning than I thought it would be. But so it just made me realize that there are a lot of a lot of foreigners out here now making videos that I've never heard of. And I've seen now that PewDiePie made a video about Japan and his views. Yeah, in fact, there's a reference to it here, and he talks about the rules and stuff. Andy the Virgo, how you doing, man? Yeah, I have not been following Japanese bloggers at all. I did see that Chris abroad in Japan, and what's her name? What's her name? I forgot her name. Jesus Christ. A blonde Canadian woman. Jesus Christ, I can't remember. I can't believe I forgot her name. I know her name. It starts with an S. Anyone know? Jesus Christ. Chris abroad. Charla. Charla, yeah. So I saw on Facebook, I only saw one post, so I don't know if this is at all accurate. Apparently, Chris Abroad and Charla are a couple. There was a video or a picture of them kissing on Facebook. And I don't want to be rude or anything, but I would never do that. I mean, that is, yeah, I mean, all power to them, but I would never kiss Chris Abroad. So I'm glad he found somebody. Yeah. But now I hope they're happy. I thought they were married. I don't know anything about their relationship at all. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking around. I'm just pulling your leg. But yeah, so the other weird thing about this Somali guy, this Johnny Somali, if you haven't heard about him, is that he had nowhere to go. So he went to this guy's house, a guy out in the country in the Inaka named Ned. What's wrong with Chris Abroad? Well, do you want to kiss Chris Abroad? I certainly don't. I'm glad Charlotte's doing it because it's a dirty job. So. No, he doesn't smell. He's a wonderful character. We met and had beers years ago. I think he had a cider. Yes, he likes cider. Being British. Yeah, there's a guy who lives out in the Inaka in the country, and Johnny Somali went out to his house and stayed there. And then all these Japanese people came out, pissed off Japanese came out and basically raided the place. And I thought that was interesting. But what else? Yeah. There was some point about that. What was the point? Apparently, Johnny Somali is not really a dick in real life as he appears on camera. That's all I wanted to say. I think he was English cider. There was a little bit more to that, but yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, Oh yeah, I remember now. So this guy Ned, who had accepted Johnny Somali into his house to kind of take care of him, or just let him stay there, whatever. I think he was like, it's a boarding home or something. He is, yeah, no, Chris is a charming guy. I'm just joking around, guys. He said, this isn't that important. Um, the war in Russia is much more important, right? But people make equivalents like that are not really equivalent. I just wanted to point that out. That people often say, compared to Russia, this is not that important. Of course, I think everything lives in a comparison, but you can actually understand why hating on a foreigner in Japan is easier than um, hating the war in Russia, because nobody really understands what's going on over there. Let's see, yeah, and you can actually care about both things at the same time. It isn't like you have to choose one or the other, right? So saying things like that kind of doesn't really make sense. Yeah, it kind of annoys me when people say things like that. This is more important. Well, they're both important in their different ways. But when you see someone like Johnny Somali, who is in Japan where we live, we can it's something that we can get our mind around much easier. Right? We can look at this guy and say, hey, you are a bad person. You're impolite. You're rude. Right? Uh, so we can write our comments about it and have our opinions about it. But if you ask someone opinions about Russia and Ukraine, people have general, oh, I guess Putin is bad, but no one can really explain it. No one can really understand it. Nobody knows what to do about it. But with Johnny Somali, you can say, oh, we should get rid of him. He should be kicked out of the country. Things like that. You know exactly how he should behave, and he's not behaving that way. But with Russia and Ukraine, you don't really know the solution. I mean, generally, Russia should leave Ukraine. Like just yesterday or 2 days ago, this guy Yevgeny what's his name? Prigozhin. He led a near mutiny or uh, almost an overthrow of the government, right? And hey Sophia, how you doing? And nobody really understands who he is or knows anything about him, right? Or even how to pronounce his name. Um, and of course, these issues are much heavier, much more important than little stories like Johnny Somali, or even the bullies. But in my son's life, but they're not easy problems that we can grasp. So it's a lot easier for us to bitch about these small things because we feel like we have some control over them. We have no control over Russia or Ukraine at all. So Sarah Bastenchi says, I only heard of Johnny Somali this morning before my doctor's appointment. Absolute tool, yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, people, yeah. So he's getting a lot of attention. But remember, there have been tons and tons. Oh, you guys, oh, by the way, oh, yes. Vibrator on conveyor. Something green. What's his name? Green. Conveyor belt. His name was Green. Let's see. What was his name? Tom Green. I remember now. Yeah, Tom Green. I think it was Tom Green. Japan. Tom Green. Yeah. Do you guys remember Tom Green's? Yes. Here we go. So there's this video. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna keep this really simple. I don't want to show the whole thing, but there's this video, and this is from like 20 years ago, man. This is at least 14 years ago, right? There's Tom Green coming to Japan, right? Putting a phallic symbol on unrelated. You mean unrested? In a sushi restaurant, long before our old friend Tikio Sam, right, had ever done it. So he's putting a video camera and a sex toy, right? So this is like the original bad gaijin. So all these new bad gaijins are appearing, but it's really nothing new. And it's not just foreigners. A lot of Japanese doing really screwed up things too, and we capture them on video as well. But we don't talk to them as much because they are not us. So we don't care about them as much. That's pretty natural. Right? Oh, I do have some news. Unrelated. Kai asked about unrelated. I think you mean unrested. Yeah. Unrested has gone back to America. And he is actually nearish. He's somewhere south of, in the southern part of Florida. And I think he's teaching art. I'm not sure for exactly. But I will be going back to Florida in about 3 weeks. And I will hopefully see him. So you may see a video of me and Unrested in Florida, which would be pretty cool. Yeah. He's bought a house in Florida, and he's kept his school in Osaka, and he'll be traveling back and forth. I did speak to him briefly. So he has the luxury of being able to live in both countries almost at the same time, right? So he'll be working in Florida teaching, and I think his son or sons are going to school there. But he's keeping his school, and it'll still be operating in Osaka. So he has both. There you go. So that's what's going on. Okay? Anyway. Yeah. That was a great one. Yeah. I couldn't remember her name. I haven't watched any J vloggers forever. Yeah. Kyo-san. Haven't watched any J vloggers forever. Oh. Anyway. I occasionally see J vloggers that I recognize on Twitter, but I haven't really watched anyone's videos at all. I've been really concentrating on the kids and the gym. Oh, and yeah, 3 days ago there's another foreigner. Just 3 days ago. Oh, I never looked this up again. Just 3 days ago, a foreigner attacked a bunch of Japanese on the train. Maybe Redman knows because I don't even know. Chris, what's going on? What country was he from? Knife, train, subway, Tokyo. I think it was the Yamanote line. Who is Pam? I don't know who Pam is. He doesn't. I think he uploads still. I think he has another channel. Oh, I think Hiko Simon. I'm sorry, Busan Kevin is back in Japan visiting right now. Last I heard on Twitter is that he's in Kobe. Right? So here we go. Yes. This is 2 days ago. A man was what? Brandishing a knife. 2 men were injured. Oh, he's a chef. But he's a foreigner. That's one of the things they reported right away. Yeah. See, a foreigner, a foreigner holding a kitchen knife. Yeah. Because it's a foreigner in Japan, and this country has no crime except for foreigners. That's what they're trying to say there. Tim the Asian, what about the Pam? What about the Pam? What about the Pam? That's a dad joke? I don't get that at all. What about the Pam? The Japan? I don't know. Sophia K, are you still in collab with Tomoko? No, I saw her. She came to the school about a month ago for a party, but we don't really hang out anymore. She's become, I don't know, actually I have no idea what she's doing. So Last I heard, she's into yoga, super, super, super hardcore into yoga, and I think she's a teacher, but I don't really know. Um, I don't make videos anymore anyway, but even at the time we were making different kinds of videos. There were different kind of videos we wanted to make anyway. You know, I want to make more edgy videos, and I think she didn't want to do anything that was controversial. So uh, yes, I pretty much lost touch with everybody except Pico Simon. Um, and even Hiko Simon, we haven't really talked. We're just kind of, everyone's just living their lives, man. Um, my barbershop videos are there. Those are still coming. I have new material that's just waiting to be edited. Oh, the Canadian girl. Yeah, I think Mira has been gone. You're talking about Mira Canada Gen 3. She's been gone forever. I think a year now. Let's look her up. Canada Gen 3 YouTube. Let's see. What has she been up to? No videos at all. She even took down her I Quit video. Look at that. Huh. That's impressive. Yeah, even her last video is completely gone. Huh. What do you know? So she's completely gone. Yeah. Yeah, like I said about her, she was making a lot of money. So the fact that she's willing to, yeah, she basically imploded. Like, yeah. Disgruntled Doomer, if you mention her, I'm going to talk about her. I'm talking about all the things that you're commenting, so they're not really a shout out. I did make a particular video when she quit because it was funny. But, mentioning something that someone asks you about in the comment doesn't mean you care. It just means you're respecting the the question, the viewer. Disgruntled. So I don't want to talk about Tomoko too, but you guys keep bringing her up, so I talk about Tomoko as well. But I don't really have any desire to talk about uh, the fact that we don't make videos anymore. That brings me no joy. Okay, so family is great. So here's my routine. I usually get up really early, or yeah, I usually get up really early or exercise. Because everything is well. How do I explain this? The family is prioritized. Yeah, Kingfish. So I don't know anything about what Tomoko's doing. Okay, and she's very nice, but we do not talk anymore, and we don't make videos anymore. Okay, right. We're both busy in our own lives. Okay, when you become an adult and you have lives and kids and shit, people just go in different ways. Okay, different directions. I have no idea what's happening with Ryan Boundless. And oh, I must be giving Ryan Boundless a shout out now because I'm answering this question. Um, Ryan Boundless, last I heard, was in Africa sleeping with prostitutes and then having them come on camera and talk about how great he was in bed. That's the last I heard, and that was maybe 2 years ago. Whatever. Um, let me see. I got off my topic here. Did I have a topic? I don't even know if I had a topic. I don't know what invoice system is. Invoice system starting in October. No idea what that is. What is the invoice system? Is that on YouTube? What is? I have no idea what you're talking about. The only thing I spend most of my time. Oh yeah, okay. So this is a typical day for me. I wake up at 5. Takes me about 30 minutes to like have coffee, go to the bathroom, drink some water, wash my face. Then, depending on that particular day, I will make omelets for my kids, which consists of eggs and chopped up ham. Uh, and then I'll leave it in a warm dish with a lid on it so that it stays warm. And I go up to the gym, and I come back as they're getting ready for school. Right? Oh, kingfish. So that's a typical day for me. And I try to prioritize time with them. So if I have time to get home early, I will go to their after school program and pick them up so I can take them home and spend time with them. Right. Uh, right now, oh, I'm here since Maggie Sensei. Oh yeah, Maggie Sensei is doing well. I think she's still making lessons and everything. Omelets with real eggs. So eggs in Japan are not that expensive. 10 eggs at most will cost you less than $3, $2.50. Not bad at all. Quite affordable, I would say. Yeah, I did see when I was back in America, like a dozen like organic eggs were up to like $10. Man, I can't believe it. That's crazy. In Japan, that would be like, yeah, that's unheard of. 3 times basically what they cost in Japan. It's much cheaper here. Eggs are, but fruit is a lot cheaper in the States. So anyway, so basically my whole day revolves around the family first, then work. And when it comes to work, this also means didn't convert to Islam. King of Kanto, thank you. Yeah, I emailed King of Kanto, but they never responded. Now he's in the comment section. That's nice. I think they had kids too. A lot of them had kids too, so they got busy. Not all of them. I don't really know what all their situations are. Not even how many. Still, 4 of them. They had a podcast for a while, but man, it's hard to keep on topic with so many people in the comment section. Let's try. So prioritize. I'm not going to look at the comments for a second, so I can do this. Prioritize the kids. That's number one. Then work, and with work it means like if I realize that a lesson wasn't as good as I thought it would be, I have to redo it, fix it up, create another lesson to fix it up. Things like that. Yeah. So work is number 2, which means I have to, make lessons and fix lessons, things like that. Grade papers. I have duties at work. Right. Sometimes I have to stay. I have no classes until the evening, so I have to stay at school and wait for the students to come. And then number 3 is getting my exercise in, which I always find time for. Yeah. And then at the very end, I guess. Oh yeah. So my last priority, I guess, would be with my wife, which is funny. But the wife is funny because we have to we have to communicate. We do communicate every day throughout the day about what to do with the kids and the dance class today, or who's going to pick them up. And do you need anything at the bread store, things like that. But we had a little tiff yesterday because my son had that bullying problem at the school, and this happened. She knew about it early in the day, like I guess 5 o'clock or so. But right before I go to bed, she tells me, she says, "Little Victor says it's okay now, so I'm going to tell you." And she tells me the story about the bullying, and then of course I can't fucking sleep normally because of this story in my head, and it's kind of pissing me off. But she did a great. I mean, I'm completely proud of the way she dealt with it. She was as angry as she should have been, and she controlled herself, which maybe I wouldn't have. But she did a great job. But I was a bit annoyed that she had waited until right before I went to bed to tell me, because then I couldn't sleep, so I just stayed in bed, kind of staring at the ceiling for an hour or so. But anyway, yeah, jujitsu. I don't know if that's an 8-year-old is going to do anything with jujitsu. Some people have have said that. Have you played around with ChatGPT? PB asks, have you played around? You know what? Let me I'm gonna put this there. I'm gonna focus on his comment now. Interestingly enough, I teach a lot of students of various ages, and a lot of them are high school students. And nobody knows anything about ChatGPT. And some of my students are actually high school teachers and junior high school teachers, and they don't know any. Oh no, they've heard about the ChatGPT. Like they've had like information sent out to all the teachers about this potential problem, but the students apparently don't know anything about it. And I even introduced a few. I introduced it in my classes months ago, and a few of the older students said, "Well, this is I'm not really." They said, "I'm not really interested in this" when I first introduced it. But a few months later, they're like, "You know that lesson you did about ChatGPT? That was good. That was a good choice. We should have paid more attention. That was a good choice." So anyway, the point is, ChatGPT is not a big deal in Japan yet, at all, and there are no problems with plagiarism. In fact, one one of my students who is a teacher today, she asked me, "Is plagiarism still a problem in the States?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a problem. It's always going to be a problem." Let me see. Carlos Terrieca says the eggs in Japan are tastier in the U.S. I don't know. Eggs are eggs. I don't know. There are many different kinds of eggs out there. I guess it depends. The eggs. It depends on the eggs you get. So. Let's see. Are you still riding my bicycle? Every single day, Lobitos, and every single day I ride it up to at least an hour, often an hour and 20 minutes or so. Carlos Terriek says, "Do a video on interracial marriage with a Japanese woman. It's long overdue." Yeah, the thing about my videos is that I only do videos about things I care about. So for me, although I will admit that there are some cultural, differences that you have to deal with when you're married to a Japanese woman, um, you know, it's something I'm just, right now I'm not really interested in. So long overdue. I don't make you. I appreciate you guys watching my videos when I do make videos, but that looks like something I want to put some thought into. I mean, I guess I could, but I'm just not inspired to do it right now. So. Phantom Camper says he is a software engineer and it will not be a problem until 20 years later. Today, I was talking to a friend who said that you only feel the effects of good exercise 20 years later, and I did not know what that meant. I do not know what that meant, so yeah, I'm curious about that. Let's see. I had someone try to upload my work on a project management assignment and pass it off as their own. Okay, Tim Diajanik. Hello, Victor in chat. Oh, yeah, Richard Copeland. Name looks familiar. Yes. What is a pointless question? What was the question? Never mind. Do they chill the eggs in Japan? Do they chill the eggs in Japan? In the supermarket, they are in the refrigerated section in the summer. But in the winter, they are not. They just move them over to that section. Yeah. Godless Monkey says, "Isn't Japan supposed to be at the forefront of tech?" Japan has always been at the forefront of creating tech, but not using tech. When I came to Japan, I was shocked at how behind it was, and some of the offices still are. In fact, Japan is one of the few countries that still uses fax machines, which is amazing, right? They still use fax machines. Nobody uses fax machines anymore. Only Japan, man. That's crazy. So when I first went to the city office, the whole the whole building, I mean, yeah, the whole office was just full of files everywhere. It was crazy. But now it's become, at least they put everything on disks and everything's on computers now. But when it comes to like Chat GTP and stuff like that, they're still behind. In fact, I was surprised because I am almost completely cashless. I pay for everything on my iPhone, on my smartphone, using apps and stuff. But I did a little research in Japan, and Japan is actually behind the USA. So more Americans are cashless than Japanese. So yeah, they're not. They don't use it. You know why? You know why, man? Godless monkey. It's because there's so many old people here, and a lot of old people do not trust the internet. I heard some old people talking in an office once um, about Amazon, and one's like, "Have you ever ordered on Amazon?" The other guy's like, "No, but I've been thinking about it, but I'm worried about my credit card." Like they're worried about putting their credit card out there on the internet because they think it's going to get ripped off. So things like that still exist. People are still scared. Let's see. Invoice system. I still don't know what this is. New qualified invoice system. Japanese user, yeah, invoice system. I have no idea what you're talking about here. Qualified invoice system. What is this? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about at all. Hey, Red Value, congratulations on having a baby, dude. He's coming back to Japan, so we're gonna get meet up again after 3.5 years. Uh, yeah, Cerebus Tenshi. Yeah, yeah, I'll look into it, but maybe if you send me a link or something. Sophia K, your father's from Peru. Well, I was born in Peru. I'm very mixed though. My grandfather was German. Oh, this reminds me of something. So I don't know how you guys. I don't really care, but I don't. I'm not really concerned on what race I appear to be. I've never really thought about my race, but there was a comment on the last video I made that someone accused me of coming to Japan to pretend to be white, which I thought was really funny. Um, now, here's something else that's funny. I actually have one brother and two sisters, and I'm pretty sure they all consider themselves white. No, let's see. I think my brother and my little sister consider herself white. My other sister, I'm not sure of, but I'm pretty sure her husband, who is very white, like Swiss white, Switzerland white, like that kind of white, blonde and blue eyes white. I'm pretty sure he considers her a Hispanic. Now, I grew up with white kids, never really thinking about my race, except uh, until I was 18. I went or 17 actually, and I graduated high school, went to New York City, and then someone talked to me in Spanish, and I was like, "How did you know I speak Spanish?" Like, only when I was 17 or 18 did I realize that, oh, I appear to look differently to some people. So, but someone accused me in my last video of coming to Japan to I think he said something called LARP. Live, is it LARP? Is that a live role play or something? Live action role play, yeah. He said, "Oh, you come to Japan to LARP being white." I was like, yeah, and then I started thinking about it after that. I thought that's such a funny thing to say because I don't really think of myself as white or Hispanic. I'm definitely not, La Raza. There's a guy in Japan, a J vlogger. I don't know if he makes videos anymore, but back in the day, his name was something samurai, Mexican samurai or something. And he was all about La Raza. They talk about the race being part of the Mexican group, and I was like, I've never considered myself part of any Hispanic group or anything. Um, but now that you mention it, now that Sophia says I remind you of her father. Well, the funny thing about that is that although my grandmother is half like pure German and half Peruvian Indian, and my father is half pure German. No, no, yeah, no, hold on. So my father is a quarter pure German, but half Italian and a quarter Peruvian Indian, and is so white looking you wouldn't believe it. Like he's super white looking. Like they called his nickname growing up was Gringo. Uh, but my mother on my mother's side, she's like I think she has like Saudi Arabian blood. I looked up my grandmother's surname, what's it called, maiden name once, and it's something that appears in like the Quran. You know, it's a name that appears in the Quran. So she's not just Spanish. She claims to be Spanish, but she's not just Spanish. She's like Spanish, Arab Spanish or something. You know? So my background, and I think my brother once claims that we're black somewhere, and one of our ancestors is black as well. So who knows what I am, you know? But I never thought about that. Let me see. Anyway, so I think I do look Peruvian. I think the nose is Peruvian. I think this nose is Peruvian. And maybe my chest is Peruvian. I have quite a big chest, like, but I don't, you know, I never spent any time in Peru, so I don't culturally feel Peruvian. I feel American. So, but it was such a weird thing to be called out on, you know, on something I never really thought about. A bit of cash stashed. I have some cash stashed. I have some Bitcoin stashed. Let's see. Cashless is easy, yeah. You can still find cash machines here. I'm looking at your comments here. Oh yeah, so yokai ichi, yeah. There's a lot of Japan has a lot of sagi, which is a con men here. Yeah, there's a lot of fraud. There's a lot of cases of fraud here. And this year they did a big drive to try to bring down that fraud. Hey Victor, after 13 years of marriage to a Japanese woman, I finally decided to learn Japanese. If you live in Japan, I will be surprised. Victor Kamikaze? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Yeah, Kyo-san, I looked myself up on ChatGPT. It gave me something different. It didn't mention J or Kamikaze. I don't know what that is. Any tips? Yeah, get the most popular textbook on Amazon.com and go through the thing from start to finish, and then do it again, and then do it again. Do it 3 times. My family's from Peru, but I grew up in the U.S. and I'm in Japan. Oh, Sophia K., what city are you in, if you don't mind me asking? Edward Matthews, is that Brick? Dude, is that Brick? That must be Brick. Brick, people want us to do a video again together. Too much fishing? Very international. Yeah, so Kingfish asked about the DNA thing. I'm not interested. I don't think that stuff means anything to me. I mean, a lot of people like talk about how they want to get in touch with their ancestors and crap. That doesn't mean anything to me. You are who you are, you know? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, my environment created me. If you remember, even Anya Taylor suffered from that people says he is a color people since it is a Latam while she is pure white skin. Sorry, I don't know if Slapback Game puts. Who is Anya Taylor? That sounds familiar, but is it true that cheating is normal in sort of the culture in Japan? I don't think it is any truer than it is in any country. As far as I can tell, I think people cheat everywhere. I looked it up. Someone asked me that. Cheating culture. Oh, look at that. The first thing comes up is Japan. USA? What would you say? Pervasive in American culture. See, look, this is pervasive in American culture. Oh. But cheating culture, what cultures have the least infidelity? Okay. But, who knows about this stuff? I don't know. Germany. US is high. US is the highest, 71%. Then Germany, then UK, then Iceland. Oh no, Iceland is the least. So there you go. Let me see. Japan is in the middle. So there you go. USA, Germany, and UK are the worst. Oh, hold on. Let me blow this up for you so you can see. See, look at this. Can I move this? Yeah. Oh, I'll just move this. Check that out. See? See, according to this, you can see that the USA is the worst. And then Germany, and then UK. And look what it says. The person you're most likely to cheat with is your ex-partner, then your friend, then your friend. In Thailand, stranger. In Thailand, a stranger. That's interesting. If you want to cheat with a married woman, go to Thailand, become a stranger. Oh, that's true. Edward Matthews points out something very interesting. Oh, KK Cross. Hey, I sent you an email on Facebook. Check it out. So Edward Matthews is an old friend. I would say good friend, although we don't talk much. We work out a lot. Hey, Edward, we should check it out, dude. Check it out, Edward. I can do 14 pull-ups now, and I can do 8 pull-ups and 14 chin-ups. Edward is much better than me, though. Edward is in much greater shape. He has huge arms and a huge back, and weighs less than me. So. Okay, so good point. Edward points out that in Japan, if you are to go to a brothel and get a professional service from a woman, that some, not all, and probably not even most, it's not considered cheating by many people. Yeah. So yeah, that is a weird thing. But I do know one housewife, one of my students. She said that soon after she got married, she found a receipt in her husband's suit from a place like that services men, and she was quite angry, of course, naturally. And he was like, "What are you angry for? It's not like I love her or anything. I don't even know her name." And when he said it that way, I was like, oh, I guess I can kind of understand that mentality. But for me, I mean, I've never, believe it or not, I've never been to any kind of place like that. And I would personally, I'm not interested in that kind of service. I don't understand how, that can be appealing to anyone, but whatever. To each his own. But I did understand his reasoning, right? It's like, well, he didn't even know her name, and it means nothing to him at all. Yeah, I guess I can see how he's thinking that way, but I can also see how she's upset. She should come home and have that with him. But anyway, so guys, I just wanted to come on and test out the computer, and it looks like it's working fine. I will be back on Sunday. I'm assuming it'll be Hiko Simon's channel. But please come back. We're doing a revival of 2.5 Voyages. We're going to talk about Hiko's very extensive trip to America and all the things that happened. Cerebus tension, I have no idea. I did find something very interesting. I was walking with my kids in the city. Let me see if I can find it. And I found hold on. I'll show. Oh yeah, I found this. Check this out. You see that? It's just a little bag, a little cute bag. Okay. So I have one more story for you. Very interesting. So I found this little bag inside the Kanagawa. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Kanagawa. Oh, Sophia. Okay. Hang in there, Sophia. So one quick story before I go. I was walking with my daughter and my son, and my daughter found this bag, and it's a cute little, like, some kind of Hello Kitty character, Kuromi, which is very popular in Japan. And I picked it up and I looked inside of it, and there was a card, which I think I threw away. I don't seem to have the card anymore. Yeah, I don't have the card anymore. But there was a card inside, and there's a little letter on the back, a little handwriting on the back, and it said, "Thank you for the good time. I hope you come back." Right? And I thought, oh, this is weird. So I looked up the company, and it was a chain of service. Service. It was a chain of brothels, basically, that serviced men. Okay, that's basically what it was. That's all. But the menu on the internet was very specific. There were things like prostate stimulation, high-level hand cream. Yeah, all these very very explicit explanations of how they would service you. I was like, wow, I can't believe this is on the internet. Like, one of them was really weird. Like, it was all in Japanese, but one of them was like, I recognized it because I saw the kanji in something. Somebody I knew had cancer. I read an article about cancer, and somebody had prostate cancer, and the same kanji was there. And I was like, that looks like the word kanji for prostate. And yeah, they had prostate stimulation or massage or something. I forgot. It's been a while. I don't remember. But it's like, wow, these people are really detailed, and it had a catalog of the women who worked there and what days they worked and what days they were off. Pretty bizarre, man. And I showed Yoko, my wife. I said, check this out. And she didn't even know what some of those services are, and she's Japanese. She's like, she couldn't even figure out what they were offering. But, and the funny thing is, it was a chain. So I think they had one in Sapporo, they had one in Kobe, they had one in Nagoya, they had in Tokyo a few, of course. Really bizarre stuff, man. But yeah, I guess some men would not consider that cheating, and some women too in Japan. There was another a foreigner here. I don't remember who it was, but he talked about when he got married. It might have been on Reddit. I honestly don't remember, but it was about a good at least 10 years ago. He said, when I got married, my wife's mother-in-law, my wife's mother-in-law, my wife's mother told me, I don't care if you have fun. I don't remember Cerebus Tenchi. I don't remember the name at all. He said, I don't care if you have fun, but make sure it's professional. And he goes, what do you mean? And he said, make sure you don't fall in love with her. Just make sure it's professional, And then he realized what she was talking about. Make sure you go to a professional to take care of your needs. So yeah. Okay, anyway, that's all for tonight, guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Edwards, KK Cross, great to see you guys. People I've actually met in real life. Cerebus Tenchi also. Yeah, is there a stamp card for that place? I don't know. 10 visits and you get a free visit, maybe. I really doubt that would happen. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll see you guys Sunday. Please, if you're not following me on Twitter, please follow me on Twitter. This is my Twitter handle, Japanese for Morons, because we will be announcing. That's my Twitter handle there, Japanese for Morons. We'll be talking about the next show. you know, on Sunday, the exact nights. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Peace to Kai and everyone. And I'll see you soon. Good night.